How is it going, everyone? Talking about WWE Extreme Rules 2019 pay-per-view. Of course, Extreme Rules aired live on the WWE Network as well as pay-per-view tonight. And overall, I gotta say, coming out of Extreme Rules, I thought it was a very good to great pay-per-view. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun. We had some great matches. We had some great moments as well. You know, nothing really too out there to go see. Like, there really isn't anything on the show that's a must-see. But this was a good pay-per-view. I enjoyed it. Like I said, I thought it was very good to great. The matches got time. Majority of the card got, 10 plus minutes, which is good. Majority of the matches have had a nice flow and pacing to it as well. There were some bad on the show, but the bad wasn't really bad. It was more just like boring, if anything. So Extreme Rules, like I said, in my opinion, thought it was very good, a great pay-per-view. I thought, I enjoyed it, and yeah, I thought WWE delivered for this show. So those were my thoughts of Extreme Rules. Of course, going into the show, we did have the kickoff show 1 hour prior to the pay-per-view. We did have a match added to the show. We actually had 2 matches added to the show, one to the main show, one to the kickoff show, and of course the match that was added onto the kickoff show was the Intercontinental Championship match, Finn Bálor defending against Shinsuke Nakamura. One thing I'd say about the kickoff show is it's an hour long and there's only 2 matches, yet why were both matches under 8 minutes? Stuff like that blows my mind. You have plenty of time, yet you failed to utilize that time properly. Don't know why, but just a small complaint there. But of course, like I said, we did have the Intercontinental Championship match between Finn Bálor and Shinsuke Nakamura. It was good for what it was. Like I said, it was, less than 8 minutes, so they didn't get a whole bunch of time. Nakamura definitely is regenerized, and I don't know what. They're giving him a push now, obviously. He's more, motivated. You can definitely tell when he's on TV, like this past Tuesday on SmackDown Live, and today at Extreme Rules as well, that he's more motivated. He was really going out there and trying to, put effort into it. And him and Bálor had a good match overall. Bálor hit a big tope suicide on the outside. Nakamura hit his, German suplex off the second rope, where he does a sliding, German suplex, the great spot right there. And then, yeah, there really wasn't much to the match, honestly. Finish came with Bálor going for the coup de grace. Nakamura got out of the way. Bálor was struggling to get up. Nakamura hit a knee to the back of the head, followed by Kinshasa for the 1-2-3. And Shinsuke Nakamura is your brand new Intercontinental Champion. Very, very happy about that one. I've been waiting for a Shinsuke Nakamura push again for a while, and I've always felt like him as an Intercontinental Champion just fit, because, in New Japan, the IWGP Intercontinental title on him just looked like it fit him. That was his championship, and to see him with the Intercontinental Championship, with the white strap again around him, to me, it just reminds me of, the old Shinsuke Nakamura. So I think him as an Intercontinental Champion, definitely is a good thing. Where Finn Bálor goes from here, I have no idea. To me personally, I would turn Finn Bálor heel and have him challenge for the WWE Championship, but that's just me personally. But yeah, I mean, it sucks that those two were in the kickoff show, but it was a good match. Nakamura, new Intercontinental Champion. Very, very happy about that. From there, I'm going to go to the WWE Cruiserweight Championship match. Tony Nese challenging Drew Gulak. This was another match that was good, but, it couldn't be any more than that because they got such little time. There really wasn't much to the match. There was some great grappling. There were some notable spots. So Drew Gulak hit an awesome clothesline off the apron. I thought he absolutely annihilated Tony Nese. The thunk of that clothesline was so loud. Tony Nese hit a moonsault onto Drew Gulak, which came off very weirdly because Drew Gulak was like in the tree of woe in the ropes, and he tried to do the moonsault off of the post, but Drew Gulak was way too close, and like he barely chipped him. Like the idea of the spot, like, ideally sounded cool, but it just was not executed that well. And Gulak ended up hitting the Argentine backbreaker, or neck breaker, for the win to retain the WWE Cruiserweight Championship. So really wasn't much of the match, but it was good for what it was. Kickoff show was whatever. Just the matches should have got more time, but they were good for what they were. From there, of course, we go into the main show, which opened up with the No Holds Barred match. Roman Reigns and the Undertaker taking on Shane McMahon and Drew McIntyre. No holds barred, which means no rules, right? However, you have to tag in and out. So in a match that has no rules, there's a rule that you must tag in and out. Where's the logic in that? No idea. But this was anything but a no-holds-barred match, really. It was just Reigns being beat down on by Shane and Drew for a while, and Taker got a hot tag, worked on McIntyre. Taker looked great, by the way. This is probably the best Taker's looked in years. And him and McIntyre had a pretty good exchange. And then, of course, Roman got tagged back in. What happened was Taker got taken out. He was beating down McIntyre and Shane. He was beating down Shane. Then Elias came out, hit him with a chair, and then McIntyre and Shane just beat up Taker. Shane hit the elbow drop through the announce table on Undertaker, and then set him up for the coast to coast. Hit that, but then Roman Reigns came out with the comeback, hit the Superman punch on Drew McIntyre, ran a rough shot, and then of course McIntyre and Shane got the upper hand once again. Taker got the hot tag, like Taker was coming back against Shane, but then it was getting shut down. Braun was looking for the tombstone on Shane, but they did an awesome shot where Taker did the throat slit, and as he did that, behind him, all you saw was McIntyre just all of a sudden slowly come in the frame, and I thought that was an awesome shot. And of course, McIntyre was setting up for the Claymore. As he went forward, when Taker turned around, Roman Reigns hit a spear out of nowhere on McIntyre to take him out, which is great. Shane hit Roman hit a Superman punch on Shane, threw him into Undertaker. Undertaker struggled to pick him up, but eventually did. Tombstone, 1, 2, 3, The Undertaker and Shane McMahon. Or, I don't know why I said Undertaker and Shane McMahon. Undertaker pins Shane McMahon, sorry, to get the victory for him and Roman Reigns. I thought this was a good opener. I enjoyed it. It was very slow at the beginning of it because they weren't really doing anything. But Taker got a chair involved, and then they started kind of utilizing the no-holds-barred stip a little bit, mainly just for like outside stuff. But I was entertained with it. I didn't think it was a bad match. I was entertained, and hopefully this is the end for Shane and Roman Reigns, because I don't want to see that ever again. And yeah, let's just move on from that. But yeah, that was definitely a good opening match, and yeah, not really much more to say about that. From there, I'm going to go to the Raw Tag Team Championship match, the Revival taking on the Usos. This was another really good match here as well. Just the problem was, just something wasn't clicking. Like, I just felt like something was holding these teams back from, you know, giving more. I felt like I could have gotten more out of these two tag teams, and I didn't get it here, although it was a solid tag team match nonetheless. Some great, you know, tag team work by the Revival, you know, taking advantage of the referee being distracted, and, you know, one of the Usos would do a tag, but the referee didn't see it, so the Uso would run in, the referee would try to back him out, and the Revival would beat down the other Uso. I think it was Jay. The Usos did a double suicide dive on the outside, and one of them actually ended up smacking their head into the announce table, which looked pretty painful. But it was good stuff. I enjoyed it. You had some great near falls. The Revival looked absolutely great, you know, hitting the suplex into a frog splash, you know, from Dash Wilder was a great spot. And, you know, the Usos almost won a handful of times. You know, there was some miscues, though, like, I think they hit a Samoan drop on Scott Dawson that came out pretty sloppy, but besides that, it was a very solid wrestling match nonetheless. Love the finish as well. You know, it was Usos and the Revival, or one of the Usos and the Revival, and there was a blind tag, which led to a great Shatter Machine for the 1, 2, 3 victory. So the Revival retained over the Usos. Like I said, thought it was a very solid match, but I felt like they were holding back and they could have delivered more. So yeah, that was that. And then, of course, we go to Aleister Black versus Cesaro. My personal match of the night. I love this match. These two went out there and just beat the holy fuck out of each other. Cesaro is one of the best in the world, and why this man is in the main event is beyond me. Absolutely love the mind games he played with Aleister Black, where he did the whole, you know, crisscross applesauce, like mocking Aleister Black. Aleister Black did a moonsault into the outside to take him out, and then, of course, did his pose as well. Cesaro hit an awesome, so fucking awesome, beautiful springboard uppercut, which that's just straight money. I've been saying that for years now, but that springboard uppercut was straight money. And then he tried it again, and then Aleister Black caught him with a huge knee, which came off awesomely. And Cesaro caught Aleister Black, I believe. I think he was going for like a Meteora, or I forgot what Aleister Black was going for on Cesaro, and Cesaro got him and just threw him up into a European uppercut. It was such a smooth transition. It looked absolutely awesome. And the spots these two were able to do, and they were just, like I said, beating the shit out of each other. I loved absolutely every second of it, and definitely delivered. You know, these two, I think, you know, if given more time, they could probably have a better match, but for the 10 minutes they got, they had a sprint, and they beat the shit out of each other. I loved absolutely every second of it. The ending sequence was great as well, with Aleister Black hitting a black mass kick out of nowhere on Cesaro to get the pin on him to defeat Cesaro. So yeah, it was a great showcase for both men. You know, I know it was mainly for Aleister Black, but in my opinion, Cesaro definitely had the better showing, and he looked absolutely amazing this match. So yeah, don't know why they don't push Cesaro. He's amazing. From there, of course, we go to the 2-on-1 handicap match for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Bayley defending against Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss. Not really much to say about it. It was just basically Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss dominating Bayley the entire match. Alexa Bliss ended up hitting the Twisted Bliss, but Bayley got her knees up, and Nikki Cross got the blind tag. Nikki Cross tried to take advantage of it, but Bayley ended up hitting the elbow drop from the top rope to pin Nikki Cross to retain the SmackDown Women's Championship. Really nothing. It was a boring match. It was just beating down Bayley, and then Bayley got the win at the end. And thankfully, Alexa and Nikki didn't split at the end. You know, Alexa didn't turn on Nikki, which is good. I said in my predictions video, I feel like those two should be the next, you know, women's tag team champions, but we'll see how the story progresses, obviously, down the line more. So yeah, whatever match, not really much to it. And of course, we go from there to the last man standing match between Braun Strowman and Bobby Lashley. This was a lot of fun. I gotta give these two credit. They went out there and had a hell of a brawl right from the get-go, brawling into the crowd, into the concession stands, where Braun Strowman hit a suplex on the merch wall, which I thought was hilarious. It wasn't a table, it was like the merch was hanging on the wall. He just suplexed him on the wall. I thought that was pretty funny. And then Bobby Lashley ended up hitting a spear through the barricade from the opposite side. You know, usually they spear him through the barricade on the around the ring, but they did it through the crowd, and Braun Strowman smacked the back of his head, which came off brutal. But they end up brawling all around the arena into the crowd, which, you know, I'm pretty sure there were some plans because Bobby Lashley was literally just throwing people out of the way for them to brawl. And they brawl into this random like upper area where it's like not on the balcony, but it's like some random area, and there's some random boxes chilling there. And of course that was used for Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman ends up power slamming him through like the whole box thing, and it blows my mind because the referee's counting. He's like, fuck you, I'm counting 1, 2. But the thing is, he can't even see them because they're in this box that he can't see. So he's just counting just for the sake of counting, but of course, I believe it was a 7 count. Strowman busts through the box like, you know, he's fucking, I don't know, Superman or something. And of course, you know, John Cone counts out Bobby Lashley. So Braun Strowman is the last man standing. Like I said, it was a hell of a brawl. It was a hell of a fight, and it was very fun. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a very fun last man standing match, and hopefully they can make Braun Strowman a monster again, because I think this was one of the first steps in doing so. And hopefully, maybe they're planning for him to beat, spoiler alert, Brock Lesnar. Who knows? But, yeah, Strowman beats Bobby Lashley. Very fun last man standing match. From there, we go to the triple threat match for the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. Of course, Dana Bryan and Rowan defending against the New Day as well as Heavy Machinery. This was another great SmackDown Tag Team title match right here. All 3 teams looked absolutely tremendous, especially Heavy Machinery. I thought this was a great showcase for Heavy Machinery in this match, especially Otis. He did a great comedy spot where he pretended to do a suicide dive and then just, you know, just jumped off the apron regularly. I thought that was great. They had a great near fall where they ended up hitting their finisher on, I believe it was Big E, but Xavier Woods broke up the pin before they won it. So Heavy Machinery definitely stood out in this match. And I don't know what it is, but they're just clicking on the main roster. They weren't really clicking that well in NXT, I thought, but main roster, they're doing very well for themselves. And New Day was great, obviously. You know, Big E had a great comeback against Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan had a great blind tag when Rowan set up Big E, and Bryan had a great headbutt and put him in a little bell lock, and Big E fought out of it. And then, of course, you know, Bryan was slapping Big E, and Big E was egging on to it, and it was just a great exchange with Bryan and Big E, and the finish was awesome as well. You know, Bryan was going for his signature backflip that he does, but Big E caught him the big ending and tagged Xavier Woods, and they end up hitting the Midnight Hour on Daniel Bryan for the 1, 2, 3, and the New Day are your brand new SmackDown Tag Team Champions. Why New Day are the SmackDown Tag Team Champions again, I have no idea. If the goal is to put all the titles on New Day for the time being, that's fine, but I feel like Daniel Bryan and Rowan were definitely going somewhere as a team and with the tag team titles, and to take the tag team titles off them so early. You know, they've been tag team champions for like, what, not even 3 months? Take it off them this quickly and put them on New Day for the 15th millionth time, to me, is just absolutely stupid, but whatever. New Day are the new SmackDown Tag Team Champions. Great match, but I really wish Daniel Bryan and Rowan would retain, but didn't take away from the match quality. And of course, afterwards, you know, grill position, New Day celebrating with Kofi Kingston, and of course, Paul Heyman comes out and cuts a promo saying that tonight, whether it's Kofi Kingston or Seth Rollins or, you know, whoever is the WWE Champion, Universal Champion at the end of the night, Brock Lesnar is cashing in. So that was that. And then, of course, from there we go to the United States Championship match. Ricochet defending against AJ Styles. Right from the get-go, the club attacks. Ricochet takes him out. But, of course, he's willing to fight. Him and AJ go out there and have a great match as well. You can argue this was match of the night against Cesaro and Black. It was up there. It was definitely better than their TV matches. These two just went out there and had a really good wrestling match. And what I love about, like, opponents like Ricochet for AJ Styles is AJ Styles can be a quick wrestler. Like, he can move quickly, but he's really usually in there with opponents that don't move that quickly. So to see him in the ring with Ricochet, to see how smooth and crisp, you know, AJ can still move, it's awesome. It's still great to see, you know, AJ can work that style, and you know, guys like Ricochet definitely bring that out of him, and that's what you got here. A lot of smooth stuff and a lot of great you know, exchanges from these two men. A lot of, you know, they implemented a lot of the stuff they did in their previous matches as well, which I do like because those are callbacks. And, you know, it was a great wrestling match. Ricochet hit a beautiful springboard shooting star, which he looked like he went like 80 feet in the air. That was absolutely insane, the height he got for that springboard. But he did it, and it looked absolutely awesome. Ricochet had the win at one point, but AJ had his foot under the rope, and, you know, Carl Anderson was pointing it out to the referee. Referee started stopped the count. And then, of course, you know, Gallows got involved, so Ricochet took out Gallows. And then, you know, Ricochet was on the top rope. You know, Anderson knocked him down. Or maybe it was vice versa. No, it was Anderson that got knocked down after he pointed the foot on the ropes, and then Gallows knocked Ricochet down once he's going for 630. AJ picks him up. Styles clash from the second rope. 1, 2, 3. AJ Styles is your brand new United States champion. I expected it. I thought it was the right decision. And it gives Ricochet that chase. Now you make Ricochet the guy chasing after AJ Styles to get his championship back. And I feel like them having another match at SummerSlam, which Ricochet probably wins the championship back, definitely was the right decision. So this was a great setup match for, hopefully, like I said, is probably a rematch at SummerSlam. But they delivered here big time. I had a lot of fun with it. It was very quick. And, you know, Ricochet is unreal. You know, his selling is superb as well. You know, Ricochet, at one point, AJ gave like a snap suplex into the corner, and he like perfectly landed in the Tree of Woe in the ropes. It was fucking awesome how he landed and sold it. So Ricochet, the dude's unreal. Hopefully gets a main event push sometime down the line, but him chasing after AJ Styles right now is the right thing for him, and I'm very excited to see how that works out. From there on, we go to Kevin Owens versus Dolph Ziggler. Literally, the match was Dolph Ziggler slapping Kevin Owens. Owens hit a stunner, 1, 2, 3. Kevin Owens beats Dolph Ziggler. That's exactly how the match should have been. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Fuck you, Dolph Ziggler. Don't want to see another match from him again. And just the way this played out, I couldn't be more happy with it. This is one of the better things WWE does. That was perfect booking, in my opinion. And of course, afterwards, Kevin Owens got the promo about Shane McMahon. So obviously, in my opinion, they're going with Kevin Owens and Shane probably at SummerSlam, which I don't mind. They had a great Hell in a Cell a couple years ago, so I don't mind another match at SummerSlam. And Kevin Owens getting a huge push, and I'm definitely for it. So thought it was perfect. I thought the whole thing with him and Dolph Ziggler was perfect. From there, I'm going to the WWE Championship match, Kofi Kingston versus Samoa Joe. Not really much to say about this. Samoa Joe dominated. You know, Samoa Joe, you know, just basically worked over Kofi. Kofi had a great SOS for a near fall. Samoa Joe locked him the STF. And then Kofi hit a Trouble in Paradise out of nowhere to pin Samoa Joe. So it was a good match, but it was only like 8-9 minutes, so it was very short, and just, I don't know, there wasn't heat, no one really cared for it. It was just another Kofi title defense, it seemed like. So whatever. I wish Samoa Joe would be put in a better position. You know, this dude loses pretty much every big match he's in, and I like to see him put in a position where he actually wins and actually is dominant, because Samoa Joe should be a monster and a beast, and they're not presenting him in that way. But it's WWE. This was a filler title match for Kofi, so I wasn't expecting anything. I wasn't expecting Joe to win, but it would have been nice. What can you do? Kofi Kingston retains. And then, of course, we go to the main event, which, of course, was the winners-take-all mixed tag team Extreme Rules match for the Universal and Raw Women's Championships. Of course, Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch facing against Lacey Evans and Baron Corbin. Why the fuck? I know they're trying to be more edgy, but literally, during Lacey Evans' entrance, when she's on the apron, when she's, like, going to the ropes, they literally had the cameraman zoom in on her ass and then zoom out, which... Listen, I'm not complaining, but I'm just like, that was really unnecessary. It was so stupid. Like, they were trying to show, because she had Seth's name, like, on, like, her tights, but, like, the way they showed it, you didn't see Seth at all. It was just, it was shot horribly, but what can you do? And, of course, this is an Extreme Rules match where there's no rules, right? But, however, there must be tags. Makes fucking sense. But this match really wasn't anything, but I will give credit to Lacey Evans. I thought she looked really good. She took a hell of a beating from Becky Lynch. Becky was nailing her with those kendo stick shots, and I really thought she shined better than she has in any of her matches previously. So I will say I thought Lacey Evans did look really good in this match. But besides that, there really wasn't much talk about it. You know, there's some kendo stick shots, chair got involved, some tables got introduced. They just... I don't know, it was a boring main event. It was just, you know, you had tags, so you're basically just, you're getting 2 singles matches because you couldn't have, you know, Seth and Lacey or Baron and Becky, which actually that did kind of happen in a way. But I don't know, it just, I couldn't get into it. I don't think the crowd really cared. And, you know, the big spot was, you know, Becky doing a leg drop through the table with Lacey while Seth did a frog splash through the table on Baron Corbin. That was a big spot at the end. And of course, you know, Baron ended up hitting the End of Days on Becky Lynch, which irritated Seth Rollins, and Seth Rollins ended up just absolutely destroying Baron Corbin with the kendo stick. Hit not 1, not 2, but 3 curb stomps on Baron Corbin for the 1, 2, 3. So Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch retain their championships. Okay main event. Wasn't bad, but it wasn't good, I would say. It was just whatever. It was fine. This would have been a great TV main event, but definitely not a pay-per-view main event. And of course, afterwards, immediately after the match, like probably 10 seconds, Brock Lesnar's music hits, and here comes Brock Lesnar. He comes running down the ramp, and he runs in the ring, and he attacks Seth Rollins. There was miscommunication because Brock went behind Seth, but didn't like grab him for the suplex. So ends up hitting some German suplexes on Seth Rollins. Referee rings a bell. Brock picks him up. F5, 1, 2, 3, and Brock Lesnar is your brand new Universal Champion. We're back to square one. I mean, listen, I don't dislike Brock Lesnar. I don't hate that they use him. I don't mind Brock Lesnar. I just don't want to see him as champion. And, you know, this guy has been Universal Champion for, you know, majority of the time since his inception. Like, the Universal title's only been around for about, what, almost 3 years? Well, 3 years come SummerSlam, it's been around, and Brock Lesnar's been champion for well over half that time. So to put the championship back on him doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know what the logic is in it. Personally, I would like to see him cash in on Kofi instead and beat Kofi for the championship, because that way it would have been different. But the Universal Championship back on Brock Lesnar, it's probably going to be Brock and Rollins at SummerSlam, which I don't mind, because I do want a legit match from these two. I feel like we keep getting robbed out of it. You know, we were robbed out of it at a Battleground in 2015. We were robbed out of it at WrestleMania because they want to make a WrestleMania moment for Seth Rollins. So if they're having a rematch at SummerSlam and they actually have an actual match, I don't mind. But besides that, I just don't see the plan for Brock as champion. Are they going to try a game with Braun and have him beat Lesnar down the line? I don't understand, and I just don't get it. But Brock Lesnar is once again Universal Champion, and you know, I guess the era of not having a champion again on Raw is back, unless Brock loses the title quickly, which, you know, may or may not happen. I don't even know the reason Brock's champion again anyways, but we'll see. It definitely makes me want to tune in the Raw to see how it plays out. So I guess they succeeded in that way, because they made me want to watch Raw. But again, it's so irritating, because it's just like, you know, you have Seth Rollins, Braun Strowman, Drew McIntyre. You have a handful of guys on Raw you can put the championship on, yet you have Brock Lesnar as your champion. So I don't really know what to say about that. But yeah, you know, whatever main event to whatever moment Brock Lesnar winning the championship. You know what? Like I said, I still thought this pay-per-view was a very good to great. I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. Like I said, definitely made me want to tune in to Raw and SmackDown Live this week to see how everything plays out for SummerSlam. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did, please feel free to leave a like below. And of course, until next time, I'll see you guys later. Thank you guys for watching the video.